Bensouda. What more can I say? Thank you so much for the opportunity. We're so happy for you to accord us the opportunity to be able to come and sit with you and talk to you. And I know we've been here and we're in Fajara at the moment, and this is where you do your clinic, so to speak, where the community come to you and speak to you about their needs, requirements, whatever it is that they're going through. But before we speak about that, tell us, who is Talib Bensouda?
I guess that's never an easy question. But I'm 36 years old, currently the mayor of the KM, which is the Kanifing municipality, the most densely populated or urbanized municipality in the Gambia. I'm also a businessman. I own a trading company. I'm also a father, a husband. I have a beautiful wife. Her name is Talib Bensouda, and two amazing children, a boy, Ahmed Bensouda, who's 5 years old, and Amibella Bensouda, who's 3 years old. That's my baby girl. And basically, I am a community servant. I've always seen myself as for the people. A young man, born and bred in the Gambia, went to school here, Marina International School, was opportuned to have parents who could afford to send me to Canada to study. I went to the University of Toronto. I studied economics and also attended a technology school called Sheridan College, where I studied digital communications and technology. Our family is not born from royalty. It's not a family that had resources. It's a family that works. We believe in working hard and making ends meet for ourselves, not depending on people. And that hard work, I guess we all grew into it and it became our culture. My mom gave me a plaque before I left Gambia, and it's a plaque in the form of the African map. She gave to each one of us, and to each one of us had a different message. It says, never forget your ancestors, never forget where you come from. That was one of the things that kept reminding me. And in 2010, I came home after working in several roles in Canada. I had finally decided that this is where I wanted to be. I came and I worked for a family-owned business called Takaful Insurance, which is an Islamic insurance company. I worked there for 4 years trying to build it, and we had many successes. We were able to triple the revenue. We were able to invest in the staff, increase the business size. So I started as a marketing manager there, and I ended up being operations director. And when I left with nothing but ideas of what I could be and what I could start. And I said, I'm gonna start a pharmacy. And I did some research. I understood pharmaceuticals was very profitable. I visited the Gambia Medical Board, and I understood that it was not a very easy business to penetrate.
Yes,
there was already players on the ground. There was restrictions.
Yes, of course.
The license was very controversial.
Yes.
And almost impossible to penetrate. So I said, okay, what's the next best thing? I said, okay, since I can't get prescription drugs, I can't get license to sell drugs, I am going to sell care products. And that is the closest thing I could think to medicine or medical insurance. So I said, at first I'm going to do some market research using the skills I've learned from school, skills I've learned doing jobs in Canada, and just basically selling insurance. Before you get into any business, do some research. And I did some market research, I did some focus groups, and I realized the fastest selling care product was baby diapers.
Yes, of course.
So
I'm a mom, so I should know.
So I said, look, I'm not going to copy any brand. I want something I own, something I can control. So I was looking for a brand. And my brother's daughter was just born then, my niece, Mariam. And I said, I will name a brand after you. So I created the Baby Mariam diaper.
Is that you?
That's me.
Congratulations. Wow.
The Baby Mariam diaper now is the biggest.
Yes, it is actually.
Diaper brand in the Gambia.
Yes.
So when I built it by design, using focus groups. So we looked at We looked at the sap content, we looked at the cotton content, we looked at the elasticity, the strap quality, the feel, and we spent a lot of time marketing it. I did not have a means of showing my products around the port, around Picton, Cameroon Street, all those areas. So I had to buy a bicycle in Banjul that I'd park in the store.
Yeah.
So when I got there, I got on a bicycle.
You got on a bicycle?
On a bicycle. This was 2014. And I'd go around the port, Tefes, I'll go around all those places.
The marketing skills just kicked in.
Exactly. I was used to it because I used to do some experiential marketing on the streets of Toronto.
Yes.
I knew the way to get people to buy your product is if they experience it. So you need to get the product in their hands. You need to make them believe that this is the right product.
So you did that with the bicycle, just went
with
around.
The bicycle, and I knew my product because I designed it.
So you've done all of this business, you've got all of these experiences.
Yeah.
You've lived in Canada, you've done the whole hustling like all of us are doing at the moment. Wake up 9 to 5, go to work, come home.
Yeah.
You're not the easy one.
Exactly.
Well, you conquered that.
Yeah.
You came here, even though you were told no, it's not good enough.
Right.
You kept pushing.
Exactly.
And you were successful then.
Yes.
Then come 2016.
We started an organization called Gambia Has Decided, where we were fighting to ensure that the election results were respected. And we were also fighting to bring about a new Gambia because we were tired of what we were seeing was the murderous regime of the former president, very oppressive. And for young people who've traveled all over the world, have seen what vibrant societies are like, have seen our counterparts across the world progress and live in societies they feel proud of and live in societies they feel like they can make it. It was time for us to stand up as well and be part of the change, which is the new Gambia. And I guess that was my introduction into activism and politics. So when the change happened, I said to all of them, I am not sitting on the sidelines. I am putting my hat in the ring. And there was a family meeting.
Wow.
What does this mean?
Yeah,
what does this mean
yes.
for us on a... But you know, everybody was like, Talib, we think you should. We think you should. We endorse it. Because they believe in Gambia. There was an opportunity. Why sit and just be blaming others? And this was a trait of the so-called elite class that the Jammeh had successfully pushed out of politics. In most countries, the elites usually, or people with backgrounds where they're more financially stable, do enter politics. Those people shape the agenda usually of the country. The most educated, the most exposed, etc. But in Gambia, Jammeh successfully exiled those people from politics.
Yes, he did.
And waged the elite war on them, a class warfare. And if you look at now people in politics, it's pre-1996 and post-2016. Most active people in politics. So there's that generational gap that is non-existent in politics. So I guess when I said this to my family, the next person I called was my wife. And I asked her. By the time she was living in the UK, and she said, I endorse it.
Oh,
and so
that was it for you.
This gave me the conviction and
the
will.
Beautiful wife, and that was it.
Yes, and you know, I am somebody who's not engaged in grassroots community development, so I was an unknown. So I went to Dabo, I said, look, I want to contest for your party, and he said, I cannot make you anything. You have to go out there and get the support of the masses. And I took it at face value. So 1 year prior to the mayoral election, I knew my work was cut out for me. I had to go out there, an unknown. I was not even a relative unknown. I was an unknown. I had to go out there and get people to know me. I had to speak. I had to convince. I had no expertise in public speaking. I could speak limited Mandinka or none at all. I had no ability to communicate with what I thought was the grassroots Gambia. But then I had the ability to communicate with Canadians. I had the ability to talk to everybody across international boundaries, across classes in Canada. And you realize people are just people.
Absolutely.
The same aspirations people have in the West, the same problems, the same fears, the same at the local level. So I just started campaigning.
And you started campaigning years later, 29 years old, you became the youngest mayor
Yes.
Gambia has ever had.
And in West Africa.
And in West Africa
The
at the time as
only
well.
mayor that was somehow the same age as me was Major Jefferson Koji of Monrovia.
Wow.
But he was 3 months older than me.
So, at 29,
Yeah.
you've taken over a seat where you had this man who has been there for years with all that experience.
Yes.
You're coming to take over all of these
Problems.
all of these problems, all of these things,
Absolutely.
good things, bad things,
Absolutely.
staff and everything else. What was it like for you? I know you prepped yourself because you said this is what you wanted to do. But what was it like the first day in the office?
I don't fear when I believe. And my fears only exist in things I don't believe in. But I believe that I had to partake in nation building. I believe that I had to play my part in Gambia politics, and I was not afraid to lose. So I think not having fear is what gave me success. So I'm always ready to be consistent. So from the time I lived in Canada, even the time I was growing up, we were up every day at 6 o'clock to get ready for school. That same habits I took to Canada. I was up every day at 5:30 a.m. and I had a routine. I brought that same habit to my business in Gambia, same habit in KMC. I am in the office, many won't believe, at 7 a.m. every day at KMC. If you come there 7:05, you'll meet me
The
there.
dedication.
I'm the first in after the cleaners. So while they're cleaning, I'm there. So it's just that consistency and knowing that we only have one life. So
Yes.
why bother fearing?
Absolutely.
I mean, just take it to the limit. So that, I guess, has been ingrained in my character. And not having fear is what makes me able to speak to people and make them also believe in my vision. That makes me understand that it's not about age, it's not about how you're defined.
What about the naysayers, the people who say Talib is too young, he's not that experienced? What would you say to that?
I don't think age matters when it comes to handling matters. What is more important is the maturity and the vision that you have for the people. Most of those people that usually say that, when they get to meet him or have a conversation with him, automatically it changes.
Well,
He's young, but the man is not.
Yes. Another thing that I've noticed as well, just looking around your team,
Yeah.
you have a lot of young people,
Right.
older people as well. But I've noticed you've surrounded yourself with the younger generation. Is
Right.
there a reason for
I
that?
think it's natural. It's a natural attraction. I am young, they're young. They feel that I inspire hope and they want to be part of that hope. So basically, it's just a natural attraction. I am an open politician. I'd like to believe anybody who means well for this country, anybody who's Gambian, should be part of my program, should be part of my agenda.
I've been working with Talib for 10 years, tells you a lot about him.
Yes.
He sees himself in everything.
Yes.
And he also likes people working with him to see themselves in everything that he is doing. So normally he says, Aisha, suma sañoon dama divide suma bopa ñaar
Yeah.
or multiple times. So that says a lot about what he wants from some people working with him. So he's just amazing, and he is humble as well.
Yes.
Because he doesn't see us as his staffs. He sees us as someone that belongs to him.
I've also noticed, because I have been following you for quite a while, and I've also noticed that you're open to working with other people outside of your party.
Absolutely.
I've noticed that there was a time that you wanted to work with Dr. Cisse and other individuals as well who have come forward.
Yeah.
And you're also a promoter of new ideas.
Absolutely.
So when people come to your office, you kind of like listen to them and see what's happening.
Yeah.
I've seen the bins that you've done. I've seen the park as well. And all this waste management thing that you're doing, and the passion and the drive.
Yeah.
What motivates and what inspires Talib?
How do you ensure that your life had meaning? And for me, this is it. I think having an impact, doing things that improve the quality of life of Gambians, which is very, very low and one of the lowest in the world. And having lived and been in other countries and seen how people live, the gap of how someone's life or quality of life should be in this world, the gap is so huge. And Gambia is one of the countries that are left behind. People don't even talk about. And so when I walk around, I see litter on the streets, it hurts me. It's personal. When I see schools that are dilapidated, overcrowded classrooms, I see health facilities with no service, no equipment, no basic training. Sometimes I wonder if there's a care for basic human life in Gambia. And a progressive society should value the life of people. And I think the culmination of all these things, basic services, good roads, parks and amenities, health services, good educational services, this is what makes quality of life great. And if we have the majority of people living a quality life, then you have a quality country.
Through the leadership of Talib Bensouda, I organized the formalization to after coming into office, because we have a saying that normally says that so when I came into office, I consulted my predecessor, and he told me that he never organized a proper tour, and he did not have the data of how many garages are within the municipality. So I was like, no, Mayor, you know what I need to do is you support me so that I can go on a formalization tour within the municipality, which he accepted and funded, and I went around all the garages.
All the garages?
All the garages, 126. If you are given a mandate or you are given a work to do, you must know and understand what are the problems those people are facing and what are their daily constraints. So that was the main objective of the tour. We have 60,000 commercial vehicles within the KM. 60,000 commercial vehicles are in KMC.
And that's taxis, vans,
gele-geles, trucks.
60,000?
60,000. When I did my familiarization tour, I wrote a written report to Mayor, and also I draft out policies which will help us, to restructure the transport system within the municipality. And Alhamdulillah, when we brought it up at Chambers, it was passed with no oppose.
And we come to your Fajara office, where Wednesdays is when you dedicate it to the community, where people come and tell you about their own problems, and you try to help them through your NGO. Tell us more about that.
So I entered my politics trying to prove to people that I can make a difference rather than just talk about it. So I registered an NGO that worked on community-based projects for using Gambian resources and Gambian solutions. And I named it GamSense, Gambia Sense. So we started initiatives from 2017 as a proof of concept of who I would be if I became mayor. I'd be a mayor for the people. I'd be a person who's always open and listening and working with the people. There are a lot of people who come to office, and I have to manage my time, mitigate between administrative work, executive work, and community work. And for many of the community members who don't have access because there's just more people than time, we divert them to a day like today where there's no administrative work, no executive work. Come to my political office and it's a clinic. Whatever your problem is, personal, community, political, we are ready to hear it. We can't always help, but at least we will hear you out. So that's the concept of Wednesday Clinic.
We receive different type of people from different walks of life, different backgrounds, different part of Gambia, not only KMC, because he's avoiding to use KMC as a political bureau or a clinic. So he wants KMC to be solely about development and work and what he is there for. So he uses this place to meet people with different problems. Some they come with their personal problems, some they come with development problems. When they have issues around their area, they come here because maybe when they come to the office, because of his time schedule and he's busy with work, he will not be able to meet everyone. So he comes here every Wednesday to meet people. Sometimes he's here till 8, sometimes he's here till 7.
So people just come in, just walk in, tell them what your problem is, and hopefully Talib solves it.
There's problems that could be fixed with council resources and problems that can't be fixed with council resources. So if problems come to me from a community and the council's really cash strapped or can't or is not budgeted, I try to mobilize funds through this NGO to help. So we've done a lot of community-based initiatives, and we tell them this is our principles and values, meaning you must first be ready to fix the problem, meaning you must be able to mobilize labor, mobilize community support. You do the implementation, we provide the resources.
I'm from Talinding. Our association name is Underdeveloped Talinding.
Underdeveloped.
Talinding.
Talinding, that's nice.
We have both men's and women's that are inside the association.
Part of the group.
Yeah.
A group with that.
Yeah. The group was created by me a couple of years ago.
Okay, and what does the group do? What do you guys do? What's your aim, your goal?
We produce street lights for our own self.
Street lights?
Yes.
So you produce all the street lights in your community?
Yeah, some
Perfect.
part of our communities.
Some part of the community?
Yeah, I think it was 3 streets. Yeah. And we normally have clean exercise, which they normally call set-settle.
Okay, so you do set-settle in your community as well?
Yes.
So a bunch of youths came together. How many are you in the association?
We have 150 participants.
150 people?
Yes.
So you come together as a community?
Yeah, we come
then-
together as a community
Yes.
to share ideas, to move Talinding to the next level.
To the next level?
Yeah.
So basically you've just taken the bull by its horns and just decided to do
Right.
something.
Right.
So why are you here today to see Talib?
It was last Wednesday when our parents came here to see Talib.
Okay.
When Talib make some discussion with them, when they return back home, they gather some of us and explain what Talib told them. So later on, one of our members who was here with our parents, he see Talib privately and talked to Talib about the association. And when he get back home, he called some of us. We sit and discuss about the issue, why they were here on last Wednesday. When he called Talib, and Talib told him that I would like to see the association on Wednesday.
Oh.
That's why we are here today.
Oh, okay. So he's called for you guys to come and meet him
Yeah,
because of the job that you do for the community.
yeah.
It is a sample of how we would love our government to work, KMC to work, is that we don't always have to ask for grants, we don't always have to ask for aid. Why can't we just use the ideas in the community and bring solutions to problems close to home?
So would you say that Talib is a community champion?
I would definitely say Talib is a champion.
Is he?
Since he came to office, he has been helping youths, he has been helping women alike, just to try and motivate each and every woman to be in a position to work.
I normally say that he is not a boss, he is a leader with qualities. Do you know why I say so? Talib is a leader that listens. Even if you are trying to portray things that he understood, he is that kind of guy that he will listen to you attentively, learn from whatsoever you are saying, and blend it with whatsoever he want to make you understand.
Yeah.
And secondly, Talib is very nice to work with. He's an open guy, you know, and I believe the whole the entire KM understood whatsoever he promised us. Talib delivered beyond expectation.
Yes.
Yeah, there are many projects which he did not even use during his campaign, and we have seen different.
You think there's
development.
more to come, basically?
More to come.
Okay.
Our subventions are not paid, and Talib is developing KM.
I think my destiny is serving people, my destiny is having impact, my destiny is trying to improve the quality of life wherever I live, but especially Gambia, my home that I love, and whatever it takes. And I'm just as willing to follow as I am to lead. I mean, I have followed most of my life, but I only follow what I believe. If I believed that everything was adequate, everything was good, everything was great, then I wouldn't use up my time being a public official. I would use my time impacting the world in my own private capacity, whether it be business or something else. Maybe just continue the NGO and do business. But I believe life in Gambia is so inadequate, and we are at the bottom of the barrel as far as world development goes, that I have no choice but to be part of this as far as I'm young, healthy, capable, and have the ideas. And I will take it as far as I can. And then I will know that I have lived a fulfilling life at the end. That's all I want.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And what's next for KMC? Because you've done a lot of stuff. People have said you've been doing so many
We've
things.
not started. We've not even started.
You haven't even started?
No, we are working on urban public transport. We are working on affordable housing, more affordable markets. We are working on a recycling plant and facility. We are working on a municipal road network project. Like I said, there's so many things missing. There's so many things to do. And I cannot stop, I cannot rest until I feel that I have absolutely done everything I can within my power.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. I know
Thank you.
people
Yes, thank you so much for according us this opportunity again.
Appreciate
It's been absolutely amazing. At Muso Media House, we like to speak to inspirational people like yourself.
Thank you.
People who are doing the work.
Thank you.
You know, not just talking the talk, but also walking the walk as well.
Thank you.
And we can see, I've not been, I usually come to Gambia every year.
Yeah.
And I've seen what you've done. I've seen the changes and everything else. And for a young man, we are absolutely proud of you. Keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you.
I know you are a mayor for everyone.
For
And
everyone.
this is not just about the politics for you, as you have said before.
No.
This is about the community. And someone mentioned to me that you are a community champion.
I love people.
Yes,
I love people.
I see that.
Life
see
is
that
all
a lot.
about
I see that a
people.
lot.
And I've built a brand that I like, and I hope all Gambians emulate it. They say Talib Bensouda, Wahlu Tuti, Deflu Bari.
No, like
And I think this country needs
no, like there's more work to do, but good luck and thank you so much
Thank
for the
you so
opportunity
much. I
again.
appreciate it.
Thank you very much.